Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. How has your Shake It Up Saturday been? Well, we shook up our Saturday this morning by joining in World Singing Day with singing I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. Many thanks to Steve and Jan for jumping on and singing with me this morning. I know I don't have the best singing voice, but we had fun anyway, and it was a lot of laughs. Totally enjoyed it. And I've been singing all day. So what songs have you been singing today? Have you been singing as part of World Singing Day today, or just singing because you love singing? Let us know in the comments below some of the songs that you've been rocking out to today and singing. Let's see, what else have we been up to today? Shake It Up Saturday. We kind of took a bit of an easy day today. We actually spent some time outside today, and Zeffy somehow, I didn't think the leash was long enough. She got herself from the passenger side of the RV where the patio is, underneath the RV, and halfway back to me, and she's like whining, and I'm like, what are you whining about? And I'm like calling her and she's not coming. I'm like, what are you wrapped around now? And so I get down to have a look. She's wrapped around the back driver's wheels, and there's two of those things. But there's a single axle, but two wheels on that side. And she's got herself wrapped around there. And I'm like, how did you even get over there? I didn't think the leash was long enough for you to be able to do that. So had to go and untangle her from that today. So I tell you, she loves to get tangled up in things under the RV, and then I have to figure out how to get her untangled. Because I've got to get her either close enough to the edge where I can, I definitely undo the leash, but then I've got to get her close enough to the edge of the RV because she'll be under there, where I can grab hold of the leash and start pulling the leash to untangle it. Because for some reason she doesn't follow directions to go back around a pole or back around a tire. She doesn't follow those directions. You just call her and she comes, or tries to. But she learned. This was so funny. So we're sitting outside this morning. It's late morning, and the postie arrives. The mail person arrives, and she pulls up in the truck, puts her little mail truck, puts the mail in the little box out front there, and Zeffy runs up, comes to a screeching halt because of her leash, and the woman says to me, she says, what a gorgeous dog. She says, do you mind if I give her a treat? I said, no, that's fine. So she gives Zeffy a treat, and because Zeffy's like happy, and so she drives off, and Zeffy crunches on her treat, eats it all up and all that, and then about 5 minutes later, because she goes down one side of the street, does a U-turn, comes back down the other side of the street, she comes down the other side of the street, and Zeffy goes running up to the edge of the RV side again, and stands there, like, I'm here, I'm waiting, where's my treat? And I'm like, jeepers, she only did it once, and the dogs are like, so now I have to be cautious of the time that we go out there to see if she does it every time we go out there. But yeah, so she saw this person come back again on the opposite side of the street, and she sits there and she's, it was so funny. I was just like cracking up, like, you are such a trip. So yes, so it's been a very fun day. Got some reading done today, got some notes taken, reading through moonshots and taking, actually writing out notes in my journal about the book. Sometimes when I read some of the non-fiction books that I read, yes, I still mark up the book with highlighters and pens and single highlighters, single colored pen, and my post-it notes, multicolors. But then sometimes I also need to write stuff down in a journal, because then I actually put my thoughts in there, because sometimes they don't allow rooms around margins for you to write a lot of stuff. So I have somewhere else to dump I do brain dumps and stuff. So it's actually quite cool. I'm still only on the introduction. I read the foreword like 4 times. That was the one written by Richard Branson. And now I'm on to the introduction, and my eyes kept wavering during the introduction, so that's why I had to start writing stuff down, because then it kept my attention a little more. But I'm looking forward to reading it, because it's called Moonshots, Creating a World of Abundance. So I'm looking forward to reading that. Watched some authors on YouTube today doing a book review of one of their own books, which was kind of interesting, and got a lot of insight to writing from listening to them. I mean, I've got some people who I do meetings with in San Diego, who are all published authors, and we sit there and critique each other's work while we're writing the books and everything else, and then of course they go get published and everything. But these are ones who I've followed along for a while with their books, and they're all novels. So the only time I read novels is at night when I'm getting ready to go to sleep. That helps shut the brain down. And but it was very interesting to hear their perspective on how they come up with some ideas. And like one author said, I wrote this book when my mother was ill. I wrote this book between the year that she fell ill and when she passed away, and then I wrote this book after she passed. And her husband would always read her work, and he comes and he says, "You've processed, this is you processing grief." And I'm sort of like, well, dang, that's. And so she said that this book came out of this this story for this character came out of this thing that was going on in my life at the time. This story for this character came out of this thing. And I sort of thought, I've always thought about doing that, but never really done it with some of the writing that I have done. And so I thought, that kind of makes sense. There's all sorts of things that there's a shit ton of stuff I can write about, that I could put into story and everything else. And I thought, I've kind of toyed with the idea every now and again, that, some troubles that the characters would face would be stuff that I have been through. And because then I can write about it from first-hand knowledge. But then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. And but now after hearing this, I'm sort of like, well, maybe I should get back into doing that type of writing again and see what comes out. So I'm going to start pursuing that again. And then the other thing I want to talk about is there's a lot of birthdays happening in October. And I go to my thing and I see that I don't have these people in my birthday club. And I'm like, I have a super fantastic sparkling birthday club. And I'm missing people from my super fantastic sparkling birthday club. So if you would like to be part of my birthday club and get cards in the mail, and I'm talking physical cards coming via UPS, they may have a little gift with them, they may not, depending whether it's your birthday, your half birthday, or some other holiday. If you'd like to be part of my super fantastic sparkling birthday club, send me a private message and I will send you the link. And you just go to this link. It takes you less than a minute to fill out your name, address, and your birth date. That's all you got to do on the link. So and then that puts you into the birthday club. So if you'd like to be a member of the super fantastic sparkling birthday club, send me a message and we will get you in there. But that's it from us for today. I've got to go. I'm waiting for it to cool down a little bit because I've got to go empty the tanks, and then I have to sort through my laundry so I can get that done. It's sort of like I've been here like 3 weeks, I think, 2 weeks. I'm like, I haven't done my laundry yet. I thought maybe I should go do the laundry. But yeah, I'm probably going to do that early morning or late evening when it cools down, when it's in the cooler part of the day, because I got to walk over to where the laundry is and then walk back again, and I really don't want to do that in the heat. I don't want to do that in the heat. We've sat outside. I mean, today it was nice sitting outside, and it was around midday, and it was in the 80s when we were sitting out there, and it was nice. There was this nice breeze blowing and all of that, but I was glad I wasn't in the sun, because the sun here is intense. Every time we go out in the morning when we go over to the dog park, I've got my hat on to protect my face and my neck from the sun. It's a wide brim hat. It is not my Stetson, because that's black wool. Not wearing that in the heat. I actually have it's a floppy straw hat that's supposed to retain its shape when you're traveling, and it's crushable and all that. But I look at the brim on it and I think, I don't think that holds true with this hat. But hey, it's a hat with a brim. I may replace it at some point because that one's looking really tatty, and so I might replace that at some point. That means I'm having to go to a hat shop, or I could just try my luck on Amazon or something. I don't know, but I can wear just about any hat. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But for now, it does the job. Doesn't, I don't think it looks that good on me, but it does the job, and that's the only brimmed hat that I have apart from my Stetson. And this one it's full mesh. It's like a straw hat. It's floppy. It's and it's kind of Stetson cowboy like. Yeah, it's sitting over there. And I also have to clean up. If you looked at the photo I left last night of Zeffie with her food, I don't know what she does. She stands there and eats, and then she turns around while she's eating, and food drops out of her mouth as she walks. And then she may eat some of the stuff that's fallen on the floor, and then she goes back to a bowl, chomps on some more, and then later on turns around and starts walking again, leaving more trails of food. So if you saw the picture I left on her Facebook group last night, about her mess. Yeah, I cleaned all that up, and she must have had a party in the middle of the night because it's all back again. And my floor mat that sits in front of the sink was down in the stairwell. And the only way that happens is if she goes running and then slides along the vinyl part of the floor there. So I'm not sure what she got up to in the middle of the night, but when I woke up this morning, the mat was in the stairwell, her food was back out on the floor again, and I'm sort of like, what party did you have last night, girl? And she just stands there, looks at me and wags her tail and smiles. Dog logic, go figure. But the fact that she was obviously running at some point because she had to slide to get the mat to move, and I didn't wake up, meant I was out to it last night. So that's a good thing. Got some good sleep last night. But anyway, that's it for me. If you'd like to be part of my birthday club, shoot me a message and I will send you the link. And you can join our birthday club. So have a super fantastic sparkling rest of your Shake It Up Saturday, and we will see you tomorrow for Serenity Sunday. Hei konera.